Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is a cut from this morning's stream. Somebody asked a question about SPY, and I literally got off on like a 5 to 10 minute tangent on SPY, my thought process, the overall market, what I think long term of the market, and basically the history, or recent history of the stock market and SPY. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, sub to the channel so you know when I'm going either live or I post a new video, and let's get right into it.
Yes.
What do I think of SPY and AMD? So SPY, we were actually talking about it earlier, but this is a big week for SPY. The the inflation numbers come out tomorrow. So if those are really bad,
GOEV.
I think we're gonna, test 380, go below here. But if they are some kind of hope to them, if they look a little bit better than expected, I think we can maybe test the top of this. And we've had this falling channel on SPY drawn. It's a trend line from the beginning of the year, January, all the way down through. So we're in a channel. And a channel, the bad thing about a channel, it doesn't get any tighter. So it's going to keep having this massive range until we finally break out of it one way or the other. So the test of the upper would be 395-ish if the CPI numbers are good tomorrow. And then below, we fall below this short-term uptrend, maybe test 370, 375 again, 360. It may pull this move again. And this was up to the CPI numbers last time, I do believe. So we traded around a little bit. The day before, we sold off in anticipation. The next day, it came out it was bad. And then the next day, we sold off again. So we have big gap downs on that. So we could see that again if it's bad. If it is good, I think it could lead to, a little run. Not saying we're going to go back to 480, but it could run through this channel, maybe get up to in the 400s a little bit, because all the market really looks for is a sign of hope, potential hope. Not really that we're in great news. Like even back in COVID, I don't know why it's not going back any further, but back in COVID, we had a little bit of hope down here, and it was back in March that the world was not ending, and that's all that SPY needed to start grinding its way back up. Like, no, this is not a zombie event. This is not a flesh-eating virus. This is not going to wipe out the whole population. We have a little bit of hope. Yes, things are shut down. The economy is slowing, etc., etc. But it just needed a little bit of hope to start trending back up. And this is a weekly candle, so it took a long time. But it did start trending back up. And SPY overall is always, 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 always created to go higher. So yes, we'll get pullbacks, we get sell-offs, we get bear markets, but eventually, unless, we have nuclear holocaust and the end of the world happens, SPY will go higher. We will see over 480. But how long will that take? Will that be, mid-2023, 2024? After the next presidential election, we make a new high. I don't know how long it's going to take. But eventually, it will go higher. Maybe it'll go lower first. But the way I see it right now, if you're a long-term person, and this is not financial advice, you guys know that. I say it 100 times. But it's 100 points off the high. You don't need to catch the bottom if you're trying to get your long terms in. You don't need to catch the bottom. You don't need to scalp your long terms. This is way, way off the highs. So if you look at it that way, this is a buying opportunity regardless of whether or not this is the tippity bottom, And I'm talking long-term stuff, not swinging for a couple weeks, not buying options. I'm talking about you're building your retirement portfolio. This is dip buys. Just like this was dip buys. Just like this was dip buys. If you remember, we sold off in 2018 from 293 to 233. It survived. COVID, huge sell-off. It survived. 2008, end of the world financial crisis, like the banks were failing out. We survived, and it went back to highs. Yes, it had several bad months and lost a lot of value. It was a different scenario, but lost a lot of value. But it survived, and it pushed back to highs. Eventually, as long as the United States is running, as long as things are moving in the U.S., the market will eventually go higher. It's all just a time game.
GOEV.
And it's starting to look like more volatility as we go higher, which it is, but the candles are bigger because the higher we go, the more it takes to get a percent is. Like 1% on $70, what is that? 70 cents or something ish. So up 1% at $70 is 70 cents. But up 1% at $4.50, what is that? $4.50 move. So that's why the candles get bigger, and it looks like, oh, we've extended huge here. We have. We were on a big ramp, absolutely. Things were overbought, absolutely. But the reason it looks like, okay, we're in tight little ranges here, but it starts to open up is because the percentage changes as we get higher and higher. This may be, it was a huge weekly candle, but the percentage here and the percentage, say, here may be similar. Like this was a 10% daily move from 102 to 110. Or monthly move, monthly move. And this monthly move was from 425 to 459. So that was actually, this candle is smaller percentage-wise than the one I just showed you. So that's just, I don't know why I got off on this rant. I have no idea. No clue why I got off on this rant, but that's my thought process on SPY, the overall market.